about that today, but that's going to be the theme of what we're going to talk about with Fernando and for our viewers. But starters, gripping the club. Here we go. We're going right through it. Come on over, Kev. And you know, I love grabbing this. I mean, this is something that we have all of our players grab onto. Where is it? Here it is. The Momentous, right?
Right.
Now, here's why I've loved this one for a long time, because I mean, it has the perfect grip. It has this V pointed more up inside the forearm, right? It has the left hand, you know, this one here pointed more up towards the right shoulder. So, you know, it's a good mold for what the perfect grip would be. Okay. Now, here's the big thing. If we're looking at just the left hand, put the left hand on first. We're going to go right underneath the heel pad here. Okay, see right underneath the heel pad there? And if you're looking over my shoulder, Kev, you know, when I put the club on the ground, I want to see these two knuckles. And I always say that seeing 2.5 is all right, but when I drop this club visually without peeking over, I want to see if there's, you know, two knuckles visible. If I have, you know, one or none, my grip is too weak. Club face is going to stay open throughout my swing. If I have it too strong with the left hand too far on top and I can see 3 or 4 knuckles, well now, you know, the club's going to be really shut in my hands. Let me explain that. When my hand's weak and under the club this way, it's not going to keep going underneath. So where is it going to go, guys? It's going to roll. It's going to get very open. Now watch the other way. If I have my hand on top, well, that's going to really, I can't keep going on top. So what it's going to do, it's going the opposite way. It's going to really shut the club face. All right, so it's important to understand that when the proper grip is taken, 2 knuckles, thumb, not at 12 o'clock like so many do, just off to the side at, you know, 12:30, 1 o'clock on the side of the grip there, not on the top, not on the very side, but the top side, okay? The lifeline of the right hand goes right over that thumb, and you can see the crease between here is going right up the inside of my forearm. So here's the cool thing about this though. If I were to open up my left hand on the club, the back of my left hand is matching the club face. If I'm gonna open up my right hand, the palm of my right hand is matching the club face. Now that's club face awareness. So let's take this club here and let's imagine that this is a wall right up against the inside of my left foot. You know, I use this wall as a reference, not only to hammer the nail, but as I rotate around my left side, the back of that left hand and the front of my right hand are rotating with my body, and they are smacking up against that wall. And that's something that I actively feel after I set that club correctly and turn around my left side through impact. I really feel like if there's a wall here, boom. It's not happening this way. That would be if the person's sliding and not rotating. That's going to then force the hands to try to hit the wall. But the wall can be hit from this position without any manipulation if I simply rotate around and have connection between the body and hands. So back to the core principles of Porzak golf. What are we doing? We're setting up well, we're gripping the club well. We set the club well. We'll talk about that in a second. Right after we talk about this grip, we'll get Fernando over the ball and talk about the set position. But the biggest thing is, after getting it set properly, we turn and maintain connection around that post that is our left leg, our lead leg. And if we have connection and rotation, guess what? We're going to have our hands in the right spot. But our hands have to do funky things when our club gets out of position or we're disconnected in the backswing. So then working on the right hand position is really irrelevant, okay? So let's get this setup correct. So for Fernando today, so far, and this is for everybody with the setup, butt into the club, up into the belt buckle, okay? From there, that right elbow will be softer and more relaxed. We're going to have our left hand, lead hand, 2 knuckles visible, 2.5 is okay. Now, the only time a weaker grip would be okay is some people stand up naturally with their arms hanging like this. Like, stand up naturally. Let's see where your arms hang. Yeah. See when he hangs, like his hands, like they're not like completely rotated like this. They're like this, right?
Right.
Well, that's how you'd grip the club, and you would see that there'd be 2 knuckles on top. Now, some people do have their hands more in this position naturally, and that's now how their arms are just rotated. So really, if that would be the time I'd go with having a weaker grip, and because you don't want to fight necessarily the natural rotation of the arms.
Yeah, of course.
So that's something that I learned from my mentor that was really, really helpful. And then of course, you know, that person who has a little bit more of a weaker left hand would have the more bowed wrist throughout their swing to cater to that club face that would be open if they didn't have that weaker, that would be open if they didn't have the bowed left wrist. Okay, so, but textbook, and 95% of the golfers I work with, you guys, and I work with a lot, 2 on top, crease right here on the right hand going up the inside of the forearm. Simple as that, okay?
I did hit it good.
Oh. Oh, get a piece. That went in.
Yeah.
That just went in.
And actually went low too.
Do you see how low and tight that was?
Yeah.
Because your wrist was in the right spot. You guys obviously understand that if the wrist was like this, if we talked about how this is the club face right here. So, you know, Mason can hit low, tight wedges like really well because his wrist is like this. This guy typically puts him up in the air because his wrist is like that. Today they're getting out there lower because he's more like this, but you know, that's something.
Gotta work on.
That's something that you're doing better. Like when I went, oh, Kevin will play it because that guy caught it right there. That takeaway, that last one, nothing was outside. That was like right over your hands, right up the forearm. Perfect. Lose that club face. Number 1 tip for the viewer and my players here. Slow the swing down. Feel like Sung J M. And feel the club face all the way to the top. 13th birthday today.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet, dude.
It is pretty sweet.
Teenager. I mean, most people, I smile because most people who know this guy or who have played golf with him would say, dang, I thought that kid was like 15. Yeah, Kevin's back there shaking his head, yeah. Exciting news, you just started your own YouTube channel.
I did, yeah, a couple days ago.
You want to announce that?
Yeah, so I started my own YouTube channel. It's called FS3 Golf.
FS3 Golf.
Just released our first video, and we got a couple more coming. So
it's,
yeah,
it's worth following, guys. This guy does some pretty cool stuff, plays golf at some pretty cool places. It'll be featuring me a bunch. You know, you'll see even this guy back here. There's Mason Green over there from UCLA, working the hill. At Porzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our full swing masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our full swing masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.